got to see our boy Kenny Pickett. Kenny came in.
That's my virtual terrible cow.
This,
I
already know what's going to happen here. I'm a Steeler fan. No crap. Joe, you're just hype, but the dude threw 3 picks. All those picks were okay.
Tipped.
One was on a Hail Mary. The other 2 were tipped.
Tipped picks.
Steelers at one point were down 10-0. Mitch got us 2 field goals. Actually, Boswell, 59 yards.
Yeah, that was
Dude's a
nice.
goat.
That was awesome.
Kenny comes in, gets us a 10-point lead, has 2 touchdown drives.
George.
It's his first start. George went off. The team is already starting to rally behind
that was
him
on
after
a
the
garbage
game.
play at the end of the game, too.
Huh?
Those yards from George Pickens, like 30 or 40 of them for a garbage pass at the end of the game.
What do you mean garbage?
But hey, let's focus on the
Okay,
positives here.
you're the most negative. Okay,
First off,
They lost to the Jets.
Hold on.
Oh my gosh, there was nothing to
it's
get excited
bad.
about this
Okay,
team right now.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, Kenny came in.
First
How's that
thing-
not
first
exciting?
He
thing
threw 3 interceptions.
But they were.
It's not going to get to
Oh
talk,
my
I guess.
gosh. Okay, one's on a Hail Mary. Sure, throw that out the window.
Let-
2 interceptions, one that cost
Hey.
the team the game.
Hey, let's
One
look
that-
at it this way.
They blew a
okay,
10.
you keep saying cost them the game. The defense played terrible.
Defense sucks.
Okay.
Minka.
You know what? Here's the thing. One, I would rather have a quarterback who gives my team the best chance to win. How many yards did Trubisky have?
How?
Hold
Okay,
on.
and let me
How
say this.
many
You
yards?
told everybody here
Can
how
I-
bad Mitch Trubisky
Hey,
was, and
okay,
nobody
I have
believed
gotten
me.
three
I
words
did.
in.
I
You-
did.
I
did.
have
You-
gotten 3 words in since we started this. 1, I would rather have Kenny Pickett in right now. Okay. 2, Mitch Trubisky had 34 yards in the first half against the Jets.
Okay, here's the thing.
Were
right?
we not starting
Here's
to move the
thing.
ball? Were we not starting to move the ball in the second
We
half?
were, and this is my argument. We are so used to the offense of the Steelers being so bad last year, beginning of the year, this year, that any little spark of goodness, people are just hopping
Keep
on.
in mind,
I'm
this
not
was a
hopping. And
spark-
I'm not calling Kenny a bust. I'm like, I haven't seen anything yet that's like, he's our next franchise guy. It's one half of football.
I
We
understand
blow
what
a
you're saying.
10-point lead in the fourth quarter to the Jets
Yeah.
with Zach
Let's
Wilson.
cool the Jets. Pump the brakes
Let's
for a
cool
second.
the Steelers
Let's pump
for
the
big-
brakes. This was Kenny Pickett with no first-team reps in practice over 10 days.
what I'm saying.
That already is a letdown.
This
by
is
Mike
where I'm
Tomlin.
at.
That's terrible.
This is where I'm at. This team, this season. I mean, it's over. Let's all just say it. I mean, if you don't think.
I mean,
don't-
if you
think
could
we're-
by a miracle go 500 against the next
Here's the
4
thing.
teams,
I don't want
there
to.
is a shot.
At
But
this-
I'd rather not even have
At
that
this
happen.
point, I have faith in Kenny Pickett. I just do. I know it's one half of football,
But like,
but
what have you seen though?
I just
Like,
have faith.
there's- you
I
haven't
saw
seen
it, but
confidence
you
to throw
haven't-
the ball.
That's
the
I
thing.
think
I
so.
saw
I just think
confidence, and I'd rather have that.
It's just like when people like say what they like about somebody in the draft. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, but people have faith in certain players and stuff. I really think he's going to be the dude.
say,
And
Like-
here's the
like,
other thing.
It's like no crap. They move the ball better with Kenny Pickett over Mitch Trubisky. Mitch Trubisky's terrible. Like what else?
Well, not no crap because he's a rookie who's never played before. So it's like,
But he's their first-round pick. Everybody's expecting him to do that. He's there to take over Mitch
Okay,
Trubisky's
well,
job.
expecting and doing is two different
Right.
things.
But
There
he
is one
but he
other
still
thing.
didn't.
Let's
he
have-
didn't.
let's
he
have-
didn't
he's,
really
o-
take
he's
over.
only had a half of football though. Is the
We
thing.
only had
Let's-
2 touchdown drives, which the Steelers
It ain't getting any easier this season.
Let's.
I-
Here's the
crap.
thing. Let's pump the brakes on the Steelers for a second. Pump the brakes on
Pump the
Kenny
brakes
Pickett.
on Kenny.
Let's not completely throw him into the wolves yet. Okay. Let's
Okay,
not.
I'm just saying I'm not pumping the brakes on him because I believe in him. The
but
season.
I'm not saying don't
I know,
believe in
I
him.
know,
Just
I know.
temper the
I'm
I'm
not
not
saying
saying I don't
expectations.
believe
I'm
in
just
Kenny
saying,
Pickett
just
either.
because I think he's the next dude does not mean I think this season is saved. I think this season's a bottom. I think this
Speaking-
season we're gonna have a bottom 5-10 pick this year, which is fine. Build around him.
Speaking of being the next, the future of the franchise, basically, who was the last QB for the Steelers to throw a pick on their first pass attempt?
Tommy Maddox.
Ben
He
Roethlisberger.
stinks.
There you go. We could have the next big Ben on our hands.
temper the expectations.
Well, that's the thing too.
Don't look at
I
it like
say
that.
I use this comparison all the time. Peyton Manning led in interceptions his rookie year, so
Yeah.
like people just like
He's going to be given the chance against these top teams in the league,
and it gave people,
and he's going to
again,
have the practice reps
and,
to
yes,
actually
and the
do
team
that.
is gonna like the way the team was talking about him after the game. Like I just think it gives them new life.
I was
Again,
he ran he ran on like a third down for a first down, and the crowd literally lost it.
and I would rather have somebody unafraid to throw the ball and throw a couple picks than being scared to throw against the Jets. Like
that's the thing. He threw the ball downfield. Thank you. Finally, like,
Trubisky is scared to throw the ball in the middle of the field period.
One thing I
And
do.
Pickens had some nice catches. You say
He
it was
did.
garbage yards. He had some very nice
No,
catches.
I'm saying
that
he had
game.
on the final drive of the game. He had a kind of like garbage time catch. It got him a large majority of his yards. That's all that I'm saying.
One thing I do want
But
to
he
say
did
is
play good though.
I kind of do feel bad for Mitch in a way, but like
he
He's
stinks.
seen it
I don't
coming.
know if you
He
saw
did.
his post game interview or whatever. He was upset.
Again, I really think if Kenny started the whole game, we might have had a better chance to win it because maybe we moved the ball more the first half.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway.
We'll move on in a second. I just want to say I'm not saying I don't think I have hope and faith in Kenny Pickett too. There is nothing from that game that's like he's our next franchise guy.
Yeah,
There's
whatever.
no way.
But
I
keep
can
in
say-
mind, that's with no practice, nothing.
I'm just saying, whatever.
The confidence.
I'm
was
just
there, though.
saying, like, I'm just being realistic, especially from an outside perspective in. Like, I'm not putting any
you
bias
do-
on anything.
yeah.
I'm just saying I haven't seen it yet. Like,
You
again, we
do-
lost to the Jets.
You do have to admit, though, that the
Yeah, but it's like the
confidence.
defense
I mean,
was
they
there.
definitely
the
Ignored it.
confidence
better-
of just being thrown into
course.
an NFL
I mean,
game for a
everybody's
half
more-
with no
That's the
practice.
thing. We lost to
He
the
did
Jets,
well.
and people are just pointing at Kenny's 3 picks. Let's just ignore how bad the defense played. But it's whatever. All right, whatever. We're just gonna
Yeah,
move
I mean,
on.
I'm not
Picks.
disregarding the defense. All I'm saying is this hype for Kenny Pickett is like a little insane to me right now. This is crazy.
Hey,
I mean,
hey, whatever. All right.
but
It's not that crazy.
It's just
And I like Kenny Pickett more than the next
your
guy.
hype for Trey Lance. No one's seen anything.
gonna
and
say,
your
it's-
hype for him is
you
insane.
just got called out.
Here's the
Insane.
thing,
It's
though.
it's
So
not.
that's
Here's
how,
the thing,
how you
though.
feel about Trey Lance.
Okay,
Is basically
can
how I feel.
Let me
with
back.
Kenny
Let me
Pickett.
back it up. Kenny Pickett came in and threw 3 interceptions.
tipped. They weren't clear
Trey
as day
Lance,
interceptions.
That's what
Trey
we
Lance
seen.
first off,
And
from
Trey
him.
Lance, no, we seen a loss to the
I'll
Bears.
admit-
Blame the weather all you want. Sure.
Yeah.
I
The
guess.
one to
Oh my
Fryer-
God.
It
we
was
did,
the
though.
weather.
We did though. So it's the same
that's
thing.
all.
The one to
the
Fryer
same
move
thing.
is the only one I
3
really blame.
turnovers.
on it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I just like.
And it's not like
let's
he
slow
threw
down.
them directly to the defense. They were tipped. Like people need to
Yeah,
relax with
Chase.
that
I
aspect
got to be
too.
honest with you. Chase Claypool got to catch that ball.
And Muth,
He's
it was
gotta
in
come
his
back
hands.
to the
They're
ball.
playmakers.
Chase
I don't care if
Claypool-
it's the easiest ball. Like you
Chase
gotta
Claypool
catch it.
is
If it's tipped, it's
6'4"
not on
for
the
what
quarterback.
reason?
Exactly. Like
For
Oh
what
my
reason
gosh,
is
he
Chase?
said the second one was on him.
I
It
don't-
was
I
on
don't
him.
care
The
what
pass.
he said.
The
I
pass
don't care
was,
what
but
he
the
said.
interception aspect
Yeah, I
isn't.
know.
What,
Again,
if,
you
if,
have the same hype with Trey Lance, and we haven't seen anything either. So, like,
I would rather there be interceptions for somebody to blame on themselves than to just throw 2 touchdowns and like 2 picks in 4 weeks.
again,
You're being too careful.
I'm just saying. I'm not like.
the hype's not crazy. Like it's
I
not.
haven't
It's,
seen
it's
the
it.
not
hype
crazy.
is there.
That's
I
all
think
I'm
the
saying.
hype needs to
I'm,
be
I'm,
there.
like I said,
but
I'm a full believer, whatever.
And-
but
and
again,
I am too,
it's
but
the
I'm
same
not
thing with
like-
you and Trey Lance. Like,
all right, let's get into
Tune
the
into
London.
our-
Trey Lance is done. I want to throw that out the window. Now.
Let's
tune
let's
in-
get into the London
Tune
game.
into our next Steelers reaction.
I mean, yeah, we
This
might
is-
as well
this-
make this a Steeler
Whoa,
reaction.
whoa,
This
oh,
is like,
Lord.
what,
all right,
20 minutes?
yeah, what do we have? Yeah,
Vikings
the
and
London game.
Saints. Let's go Vikings.
How about
Saints.
that field goal bouncing though? That
Yeah.
literally,
Double doink,
Yeah,
literally,
I seen a highlight of it.
man.
that takes a different bounce. Saints tie that game. It goes to overtime. So that sucks in terms
Yeah.
of that. I didn't get to watch that game, so I don't know how back and forth it really was.
You know who did get to watch the game though? Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Jameis Winston.
Yeah, they were out there 3 biggest weapons.
you know what,
Alvin
I give the
Kamara is like a
Saints
last
props.
second game time, like that he wasn't.
Yeah, that
playing.
kind of killed me, and it sucks.
That killed a lot of people in fantasy, but I digress.
Yeah, Saints ended up losing, but I mean the London games can go either anyway.
I
They're
I
so
tell you what though,
unpredictable.
I give
Holy
the
crap,
Saints
Justin
props.
Jefferson.
It was actually
Only,
one of the
I mean, they
closest
only lost
games.
by 3. Yeah.
I was gonna say it's one of the closest games in London.
Speaking of close games, Browns and Falcons. Probably, what would we say? It's the upset. It was
That
kind
was my
of an
upset
upset.
of the week.
it's an
Yeah.
upset.
It's an
Yeah.
upset.
It is an upset.
And the Falcons actually pulled out. They actually did.
Yeah, they gave up the lead at the end and pulled it out. At
And the
end,
main
too.
reason why I was thinking it was going to be an upset is because of how good the Steelers defense made Jacoby Brissett and that offense look the week prior. I feel like a lot of people are going to be jumping on that
I just
train. Even though I think the Falcons are still the Falcons are at number 1, right, in the NFC South now.
Falcons?
No, I think the Bucks
Are they?
still are.
'Cause they have
they're
2
probably
wins.
Tied for it.
I think they are
Bucks
technically
still
number
have
1.
two
They're
wins?
Buccaneers
Yeah,
have
but
the
I think they have
tiebreaker.
The Bucks are still in first.
The Bucks have the
Falcons
tiebreaker, but
are in-
Falcons
the
are
Falcons
second,
are in
yeah.
second.
Who was Caleb Huntley, and why did he do good for the Falcons?
The quarterback.
Is it a quarterback or they
No,
did?
Tyler Huntley's the QB, but he's for Baltimore.
Somebody named Caleb Huntley was rushing for the Falcons.
All right, let's
Probably
go.
the backup for Patterson. But
Wow. Okay.
Commanders and Cowboys.
no shock to me. I did not expect the Commanders to have a shot in this game.
They did for a little bit.
Who'd
and
you pick
then-
for this game, Tom?
Oh, you want me to do that for all your ones that you got wrong? I picked the Commanders for one reason and one reason only. Is because I didn't believe in Cooper Rush, but he has actually shown something. This is the first game. I'm going to say this right now. This is the first game he's actually been able to step up and get the passing yards and move the offense and not have the offense stall. And it's impressive. And what was it? He's the first quarterback in Cowboys history to win his first four games.
First 4 games.
So that is to be said. I am very foolish for picking Washington to win this game because they are one of the bottom feeders of the NFL. But it was a divisional
you didn't
game.
have the Cowboys at first and then switch it because of someone else.
Who did that?
Me.
Yeah, I don't know. In my opinion, it's just the Commanders' blow and the Cowboys' defense. I just think
And you're not wrong. I just we know these divisional games can go either way, and that's why I thought Washington.
I also
got to
point out something else. Cooper Rush has yet to throw a pick in 4 games.
so he
Frank is
takes. That's what I'm
really-
saying. He takes care of the ball.
But he's also not afraid to throw it. There's that balance there. You know
I
what
think
Cooper
now
MVP?
the Cowboys
Have
we're
a
doing this
pro-
power rankings. They better be in the top 10.
I'd
There's
say
not
they're
even a
there.
question anymore.
with a
Yeah,
backup
probably.
QB playing
Fighting
there,
for it
yeah.
last week, it's not even a question anymore.
I'll give him a
Very impressive.
Bills, Ravens. Lamar and Josh Allen both had 70 rushing yards.
That's crazy.
I will say, to me, Josh Allen, as I always say, he makes a mistake that could turn the game. And it was at the end of the first half, the Ravens dropped an easy interception, which then they could have scored, and then the Bills wouldn't have scored that drive.
On the other hand, though, Lamar made the mistake that cost the Ravens the game.
Lamar made a
I know,
dumb
but
pass
something
to
like that,
corner.
though, could still turn it because they had a heavy lead.
That
on
was the
them.
difference in the game.
They had a heavy lead on them, and then the Bills went down, got a touchdown. And then the second half, the Ravens were kind of sloppy. The second half, the Ravens definitely.
It was more of a sloppy game from two teams that I feel like should be at the top 5 in the top
Yeah.
5 in the NFL. It
These are
definitely
still
was.
two top teams to me. I still like this loss to the Ravens. It doesn't. I think nothing less of them. And then the Bills won.
But, how about J.K. Dobbins in his debut?
Yeah, that was.
He did good.
And then he got hurt again.
I also don't hate the call of them
He
going
did?
for it on fourth down.
He
I
had the
seen
same.
Justice Hill went down.
He had the no. It was. I thought it was Dobbins. Was
I
it
seen
not?
Justice Hill went down. I didn't see.
I
Dobbins.
maybe they both went.
So
down,
Dobbins
but,
had a very good game. He had multiple touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Didn't really have the yards, but
The
when you get
yards
2
weren't there.
tutties, it doesn't really matter. But
He was efficient.
I think Dobbins had the same thing happen that happened to McCaffrey last year, right around this time,
That's
where he took
sick,
that
sick.
weird step and just
How
very
about
good.
the highest scoring game of the week?
This game was a
Seahawks
joke.
and Lions.
That game was just a joke to me, dude. That was ridiculous. The defense just didn't show up.
I was expecting the Lions not to be able to do anything on offense and this be a sloppy, low-scoring game, just because they didn't have their 2 literal
they
best
put up
players.
45.
Maybe besides
That's
T.J.
what I'm saying.
Hopkins.
There was over 1,000 yards of offense in this game. Between
This
the two
might be
teams.
the only game of the week that I actually had something right, even though I was wrong about the pick.
This game. I mean, I did
I
not.
said Jamal Williams would have a field day, and he did.
48-45. That
But,
was just
like-
stupid. I mean, these teams. If you're a Seahawks fan, don't get hyped that he scored 48. points.
If
don't
you're
know,
a Lions fan, if they figure out the defense,
what-
they're
yeah.
a scary team.
They're
They
putting up
have the
points.
best offense in the league,
but they're
They have
giving
the
up.
worst
the
but they
most.
have the worst defense.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
they have them. I think they're just short of the most points in
They might
the
have
first
it
4
now.
games of NFL history.
Oh, in history. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. But
DK Metcalf had to get card off.
He
the
got
field
pooped.
to
to
poop.
go to
got
the
pooped.
bathroom,
He said I couldn't clinch it and get over
just
there. So
big.
At least he
big
didn't poop
energy,
himself like
man.
Lamar pooped himself.
That's just boss type energy right
Just
there.
saying.
Just
He'll never admit it, but Lamar, you know you pooped yourself. I know. We all know it.
Chargers, Texans. Chargers won 34-24.
Yeah, it was early lead for
Chargers
the
are a big
Chargers.
concern to me. I don't know, man.
That-
Yeah, but then
They should've
again,
let
like
up 24
It's
to
just
the
because Bosa's
Texans.
out like 8 to 10 weeks. And
no
There-
Keenan
he's
Allen
probably done then.
is an issue.
Mike Williams is
Keenan
stepping
Allen.
up, though.
It wasn't really an issue. I mean,
It's
they
still
scored
scored
It
34.
has
34
been.
points.
It has been an
I
issue.
think it's more of an issue with the defense not really figuring things out yet.
It's a banged up team right now,
Mhm.
and
Plus,
it
they
is,
left
that
their
is a
foot off the
concern.
gas.
That is a concern. I mean, we do
What-
see teams let off the gas.
What-
at the
what's
end,
not a
yeah.
concern anymore, though, is Justin Herbert's fractured ribs.
No concern.
They're not. He was not. He wasn't even an injury designation for the game anymore. So,
Yeah, it still doesn't mean it was not bothering him though. Even though
But-
he's like a
And
lock
Mike
to
Williams
play.
had
but
a
it's
really good
not
game.
like it's not broken anymore.
7
Yeah, but with
catches,
Keenan
120
Allen,
yards.
Mike Williams has been stepping up, but with Keenan Allen there, that's a different story for that offense. He's like
No,
that
I know.
extra.
But again,
boost.
Austin Eckler finally did a little something.
He
You
did
were right
a
about
little
that
bit of
breakout game
something,
for him.
but
Didn't have as many yards as I thought, but he still did
He got
good.
the.
He had
2
receiving
touchdowns.
yards.
He got his
had-
touchdowns
yeah,
too.
He had
so.
receiving yards. But yeah, Damian Pierce looking good. Keep it up.
Worst team in the NFL. Texans. Yeah.
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 Sure.
But
They don't have a
that
win.
was to
They're
be
the only team without a
expected.
win yet, right?
Yeah, they got a tie.
Hey,
Yeah.
they're not.
Unless
Hey,
they're one of
no
those
0-8, no 0-17 for them. Am I right?
No.
Does that count? I guess.
I mean, technically, yeah.
Next.
Titans and Colts, 24.
Colts, you guys are just
17.
disappointing, man. I told you that game
You
against
know,
the Chiefs was a fluke.
Hey, so I'm out on the Colts now, but at the same time, they also lost Shaq Leonard again to a concussion.
Yeah.
And hey, NFL, here's a chance to get it right. He plays on Thursday. If he does,
But I heard they have him on his next airplane all the way down to wherever.
okay. I can explain that to you, all
That's
right?
fine.
It
I'm
slows the
joking.
recovery.
I'm
Give me a
joking.
break.
Jonathan
all right?
Taylor got shut down and he got injured.
He got 20 carries for 42 yards. Like, at what point do you just say, hey, this isn't working,
At
and try
what
to switch it up?
point?
No?
I mean, I saw you
You'd
got.
trade Jonathan Taylor for David Montgomery because David Montgomery's better.
Yeah, but David Montgomery is hurt.
Maybe after 2 or 3
I'm not-
seasons.
I'm not,
I told you guys.
I would
Ah,
argue.
said it.
You know what? I'll make the argument right now. I'll look stupid for a minute.
Good.
I think David Montgomery's vision's better than JT.
I think he's a better running back, but
That's fair. Hey, that's why I don't have
It's not
JT.
the first time I said
That's
that.
why JT ain't on my fantasy team. So.
Historically, he's not.
Historically, what one season from Jonathan?
I just gotta say, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that O line by the
A
Bears.
really good season.
That O line by the Bears. The O line for the Colts, and tell me David Montgomery's not a better running back.
The whole
Dude.
line for the
I don't know.
Bears actually isn't bad. They've been actually pretty good.
I'll say
and the O line for the Colts hasn't been too good. So that just goes to show you, like I was trying to say before,
Is
how
that
much
a
the
sign
O-line
of
actually matters.
Is that a
Like
sign
Jonathan
of
Taylor averaged like
or-
what, under 3 yards a carry yesterday?
2
yeah,
yard.
he did.
Yeah.
Like,
But Derrick Henry, on the other hand, 114 yards, touchdown.
Yeah, Traylon Burke got
Yeah.
carted off.
I'm wondering, should we be giving a little bit more credit to the Tennessee Titans? I don't want to, but like,
I'm not yet.
Well,
They had
I
no
would
pass
say you
game.
at least consider it now because remember they're without their second best pass rusher in Harold Landry because he's been out the whole time.
Who's better, the Titans or the Jags?
that's a really good question.
I
I
got the
think the
Jags still.
Jags. I have the Jags.
Oh man.
I do
Oh
have-
man,
I do
that's
have
a
the
tough
Jags.
one.
I think the Jags are going to win that division, believe it or not.
It's wide open.
That
Dang.
division's I'm not even saying the Jags
That's
are like
tough.
amazing by any means, but that division's.
That's really tough. Dang, that's a really tough
Speaking
one.
of Jags, what we had Jags Eagles.
Yeah, 21-29, way closer than I
Dog,
thought
that
it would be.
game. That's the thing about the Jags. They were up 14-0, and then Trevor Lawrence fumbled 4 times. They lost all 4 of those fumbles. How did they get that sloppy?
I'd say that.
I actually think they
lost
could have
them
won that game,
Yeah.
minus if they didn't do that.
Yeah, actually, that was disgusting to watch.
Yeah,
it wasn't even
what
like
happened?
interceptions. It was just like off the snap.
Yeah,
There was multiple times. I remember 3 out of the 4. I don't remember the 4th
yeah.
one.
Apparently there was 4, and then the Eagles being stupid. You guys went for it on 4th down. You could have ended the game with that field goal. You guys went for it and didn't get it.
And then the other fumble
And then the fumble happened after that. But
Man, I wanted nothing more than the Jaguars to win that game just to shake up the NFL.
That would've
man,
shaken
That
it
would have
up.
shaken up
Yeah,
everything.
going up early and just
Yeah,
Christian
they could-
Kirk, 9 targets, only 2 catches. That's kind of
Yeah,
concerning.
one of them was a wide open one. I mean,
Deep down the
I don't
field.
think it's concerning. The Eagles have a very good.
I'll say, dude, the
secondary.
ETN and Robinson were shut down heavy.
Yep. Miles Sanders went crazy though. 134 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
Is
kinda.
Hurts like the leading MVP candidate now, or do you think
he's
because
thrown for
Lamar lost?
he's thrown for 400 yards every
Yeah.
week.
I would say
Who?
so.
I think that's
Jalen Hurts.
no question.
Well,
That has to be a
But
no
then
question.
yeah,
They're
but
they're
then
the
you
only
also look at
undefeated
the
team.
opponents,
He's going
too.
crazy. He's scoring points. Yeah, I mean, but then again, they're
what
undefeated right
let's
now.
see the Lions, Jags, Vikings. Who else?
Jags.
I said Jags.
I
don't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, already that's 3 defenses that aren't the greatest, and they're getting 400 yards. I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, you could be right by that. I mean, but Jags defenses, I mean, they've been pretty impressive in my opinion.
Freaking Cardinals, Panthers. Panthers, your defense looked
I'd say
great.
that was the first game where I was actually like, you know what, Panthers defense is. I mean, you guys have been kind of saying that, but I was like, I don't know, but their defense is pretty good.
I don't think we scored anything on offense. I think
I was gonna say, you guys had another defensive
Baker had
touchdown. That's 2
touchdown.
weeks in a row. And
I
I seen
know.
stats on J.C. Horn the other day, and he's like balling out this year.
he's balling out. Brian Burns, we seen the speed. He was getting to Kyler. He was getting to the running backs. Looked fantastic. We seen Frankie Louvu out there who he popped off this season just out of nowhere. He's been doing great. hit stick machine. But man, the offense, Baker
That's the thing, man.
looks awful.
He looks awful. He does. And that's the reason why I kind of like the Panthers a little bit. I thought the offense would be more than capable to be like close to average at least, but they're bottom. They're bottom of the NFL, towards the bottom. Not
It's
the
like-
bottom, but towards the bottom. But they have so many like
I would have to
playmakers
loo-
and
I would have
stuff.
to look at it. I do think they have the worst offense, like statistically.
The
This season.
the only thing on offense that they had going was C-Mac. Whether it was a handoff or he'd somehow break away, or if it was a dump off pass where he'd somehow break away, he's not hitting. Like DJ Moore didn't have a game. Robbie Anderson didn't have a game. None of the time, like Baker just cannot get the ball to the receivers.
Speaking of wide receivers, DJ Moore has gone on record saying he is thinking about getting a trade already.
Yeah.
Oh,
It seems to be a
That's not
common
what we
theme
want.
with like
there's some teams that would
wide
take him right now.
I
receivers.
don't know what they're
what.
going to do with Baker though, like with their
Well-
quarterback situation.
well, Baker is
Matt Corral, they did draft Matt Corral, who
I
we've
know,
seen in
that's why.
preseason, who looked not that great in
But could
preseason.
he be any worse? You know what I mean? Why not
I
try
think
it?
you wait to
That's-
put
you
him
know?
in
I don't
until
know.
like
It would have been awesome if he would have came in second half. Same time Kenny came in, it could have been like, hey,
nah, that's a
two
little
rookies
much.
coming in.
Sam Darnold would probably be in before he is.
What about the
That's just-
Cardinals? Like
yeah.
as a team, that game. It was-
Cardinals, they look.
JJ Watt, tell you what,
JJ Watt
looked like a
swag.
flash of it all.
Actually, that's
Did
true.
you guys hear the reports this week of what happened with him?
Yeah, did he have to get revived or something like that?
So he went into like AFib and had to get like
really?
shocked, like
Yeah.
his heart back into rhythm. And then he's like, "Yeah, somebody leaked some information about me going into AFib the other day. Well, here, guess what, guys? I'm playing today. Get ready for a
Wow.
game of your life or whatever." And
I
he
didn't
gives-
hear about that.
Yeah,
has,
they
like 3 or 4
man,
pass
there's so
defense.
many.
You know,
Yeah.
basically forced one of the interceptions. I mean,
I'm really waiting
shades of his
for
old self.
for DeAndre Hopkins to
Mhm.
come back. Offense just doesn't. James Conner, man, the way he runs is awesome.
Yeah.
I like James Conner. a
I think
ton.
with D Hop coming back, that'll help him out too.
So Marquise
I mean,
Brown hasn't been terrible.
Yeah,
he
he
hasn't
looked.
been
He looked
terrible.
good.
Marquise
He looked
Brown
good that
had
game.
a nice
Yeah,
touchdown.
he looked good
catch,
that game.
though.
Mm-hmm.
but he's not looking like crazy good where it justifies trading away that first round.
But
pick.
I think that comes with knowing that D Hop is going to be opposite of you, drawing a lot more of the attention, and that's
Yeah, I
where
mean-
we're going to see him start to do much better.
yeah, that's fair. Not gonna argue with that.
Patriots, Green Bay,
Oh, this was like-
24-27.
was
Thi-
shocked.
hey, anybody, you know,
Who's that third string guy?
you know,
Zappy. Zappy.
he
Zappy
did all
doing
right
all
for
right.
being forced into.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing about it was at the end of the game, I noticed Bill Belichick and the Patriots getting very conservative towards the way end.
Yeah, because they would run it, and then even the announcers are like, "It's third down." It's like, "Oh, I think you got to make them pass it now." Like, no crap, you need to win the game. Like,
Yeah, which
Very
I
run-heavy
mean, it
game.
makes sense with a third string quarterback. You can only do so much, which is kind of unfortunate for him. But that's why I said, man, I don't count the Patriots out of any game. They're not a terrible team. They're really not.
Yeah, I mean, you have, you know, a Tom Brady led coach on the other side. You know, what I mean.
I think he established himself enough without that.
who? Bill Belichick.
I mean, I'm being more facetious. I'm just saying like things
Barely,
that people
but
have
yeah.
said,
Barely,
you know,
really.
online and stuff. But
You don't think he's the best coach in NFL history?
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
you
Bill
think
Belichick?
Bill Belichick is the best coach in NFL?
I
Is
do. Yeah.
John Madden?
No.
No.
Really?
I mean, his legacy's
I was gonna say,
there.
I was gonna- if that's what we're talking
What
about.
about Vince
yeah.
Lombardi?
Maybe most liked. Vince
I don't
Lombardi's up there.
And these are people we never.
Dude,
even
did you
watched.
really just say? Oh, you meant. Never mind. You meant John Madden was most liked. You didn't.
I say,
you
if we're
meant
talking all
Belichick. I was
time,
about to say,
sure.
if you said Belichick was the most liked, I would have walked out the room.
I mean, best I've ever seen by a long shot. I mean, it's not even close.
maybe of
Andy
like
Reid
our
is
He's
kinda
he's
up
kind of
there.
generation
losing.
of watching
He's
football.
losing his rep though. Okay, every season without Brady, I feel like it just keeps going downhill.
I mean, he made the playoffs.
But I mean, what can you
last
expect?
year
You made
without
the
him.
yeah, I'll say you made the playoffs
I
with a rookie
mean-
quarterback last year. That's pretty impressive to me.
Granted, they started going downhill towards the end of the season, but he's doing pretty well with not a lot to work. with.
I don't count the Patriots out of any game. On the other hand, they could definitely lose to any team.
The
this
question
season
is,
also, so
yeah.
it's-
who starts next week?
I mean, it's not going to be Mac Jones. I don't think
It might not
right?
even be Hoyer. Hoyer might still have a concussion or whatever because he got
Probably
hit real
not.
hard. I mean,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting situation, honestly.
did we talk about Giants and Bears?
We can talk about it right
The
The
now.
game where
Bears.
Saquon came in for a play at quarterback?
Can I say something? Saquon is 100% back, and maybe we were talking about maybe besides Nick Chubb, the most impressive running back.
Sure.
To me,
I mean, we
the
put
cuts are back. The putting the team on his back is back.
If Montgomery wasn't hurt,
back.
would we put Montgomery in that?
I like Montgomery a lot. I'm gonna slow down a little bit on Montgomery. I'm not gonna put him at the top.
I
of the
would
list.
argue.
He is
I
a
would
good
argue
back,
on
but
the
he's,
same
like,
lines
His
that
stats aren't like insane.
I know we were just talking about them, but on the same lines, like McCaffrey's kind of back too. I mean that was like McCaffrey's.
Yes.
I said kinda. I didn't say fully, but that was like his first game where like he
Yeah.
did his.
But
You know.
you can only do so much on an offense that's just not moving.
Yeah.
only
I
shot
mean
And that goes to for a lot of these. I mean, it's the Giants. Their offense isn't anything special. The Panthers, their offense stinks this year. The Bears should have a bad offense. I mean, just look at
you know.
the game.
Here's the other thing though. Neither of these teams really impressed.
I'm not. I'm not putting David Montgomery like in the top 3 or anything. I'll make that clear. I like David Montgomery.
I'd
but-
put him in the top 10.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Would you consider 5?
No. Well, I'd have to look. This season
I don't
alone,
know.
I'd have to.
We'd have
He's
to
not even
look,
playing.
but
I ain't even gonna
don't
say that yet. But hold on. But let's.
I'm just saying with previous years too. You know.
I mean, yeah, Daniel Jones only had to throw for 71 yards. Tyrod
He got
Taylor
hurt.
Came in.
He got hurt and then came back in later.
Yeah, but
on.
Tyrod Taylor only played 3 snaps.
He also got hurt. That's why Saquon had to go in, and then Daniel Jones was like in like the
Saquon
wildcat
came in as he
the
was
emergency QB. Yeah.
Oh no crap! Wow.
That's why I was bringing it up. Yeah.
Wow.
It was for like 1 or 2 plays, but because then Daniel Jones was able to like.
Still
sit a
impressive
play
that
out.
They
they
still won, huh?
they beat the Bears.
Yeah.
That actually says a lot because
I don't.
it says a lot more for the Giants as a team. The Bears are still they're bad, dude. They're bad. They're a bad team. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
But the fact that Giants were able to do that with all the injured players that were coming into the game, and then with the quarterback situation with those injuries,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they put Saquon in at quarterback, still ended up getting a win.
It was for a couple
that says a
plays.
bit,
It
man.
wasn't for a lot.
I mean, this is a team, for example, they've been drafting in the top 10 for a while now. You know, I mean, eventually this team is expected to turn around. I thought they had a pretty good draft this past year. Things are going to take some time. I'm not saying this or next year's their year.
A lot of time.
Hey,
I
until
mean,
you find a
Daniel
good
Jones
quarterback,
had
though.
8 passes for 71
I think
yards.
they're slightly on the rise. Like they're not on the downfall
Yeah,
anymore.
but is Daniel Jones their guy? That's the
No.
thing.
Well,
Probably
he
not.
did have 2 rushing touchdowns yesterday.
Until you find your
That's the thing.
quarterback,
I don't hate
dude.
Daniel Jones, but I don't see Daniel Jones ever as a Super Bowl quarterback. And that's what you need. That's
He
the
had
issue.
68 rushing.
So you could have the best drafts every year, but until you find your quarterback, man.
And that's the other thing. Like, I don't think he's necessarily the problem, but like I said last year, he's not the answer.
It's not. That's a good way to put it.
Like,
That's a good.
granted, I also said that about Jalen Hurts, and look at me eating crap. You know,
Yeah.
I said that last year. I'm like, oh, Jalen Hurts ain't the answer at QB.
Broncos
But
Raiders.
Broncos.
Melvin
What
Gordon.
happened?
Melvin Gordon, dude. Would you guys stop fumbling the ball? Like, my lord.
First snap after
My
Devontae goes
goodness,
down.
man. That's just crazy to me.
Hey,
And-
props to that one random O lineman for the Broncos that dove at. Dude, I don't know if you guys saw that. That was Madden-esque right there.
I'm
It
not
was so
dumping off the
funny.
Broncos yet, but I can't say I'm not concerned with them.
They have the they have the worst offense in the league. Just saying.
No, they
Yeah,
don't.
do.
No,
They're
they
30
don't.
They're 31st rated.
I don't care. There's
31st isn't 32.
look at the Panthers.
But they aren't
they are not the
doing
worst.
anything.
You're
They're
right.
not moving.
I'm not even trying to say they're doing great, but
By far, they have the worst red zone offense,
well, yeah.
and they've only been in the other half of the field maybe a handful of times.
Josh Jacobs, 144
He's been doing
yards
really good
and
this
2
year.
touchdowns.
He's been doing good this year, surprisingly. Don't know where that's
Dev-
coming from.
I don't know where
Is-
that's come from.
Is this Devontae's first 100-yard game?
No.
No. He got 101 yards. I don't know if that's his first or
Who
not,
did?
but Devontae
I think he had another one.
Adams.
Adams. Your number one dude.
I think he had another one.
I thought he had one other one, but I could be wrong. He only had one off week, which was week 2 or 3, whenever he had the touchdown in 12 yards. when
Because
his
the
grandma
thing
was
with the
at game.
Broncos is I really like their defense, but yeah, the offense is still concerning, and their penalties, man, they still get a lot of penalties. Man, they had 2 holding calls in a row that put Russ back 1st and 30, which they ended up getting. They ended up moving the ball that time.
Actually,
but it's
they
just-
turn it on at the end of the game whenever it's too late. That's what I've noticed. It's too late, and then they start picking up some momentum. What's going on the first 3 quarters?
Yeah, and then Williams isn't having as great of a season as I thought he
kinda
would be
surprising
having,
to me.
and now he's hurt. So, and apparently it's a major knee injury. So I am concerned with it. I'm not dumping off him yet, but I am concerned.
I don't know. If I was looking through for Devontae's thing, and he only just had his first 100-yard game. The other games were like 12, 36.
That's the thing. Derek Carr didn't even do great. He didn't turn the ball over. That's really the difference.
That's the difference in the
But he
game.
only threw for 188 yards.
You know who's impressed me, though? Name we're not saying. Mac Hollins, bro.
Oh,
yeah.
last week,
Last
that
week
dude
went
was
off.
He didn't just get yards. The catches he was making was insane against the Titans.
Is he like did they just draft him, or is he?
They-
I don't know
is
who he
a
is.
guy,
been
or-
I
on
don't
that.
know who he
He
is.
has been on their team.
But I think, I mean, he didn't have a great game against the Broncos, but
reception yards
It-
wise, he's like
that-
up there actually.
That
Like,
wide receiver core, when fully healthy, is Devontae Adams, a breakout guy in him, and then Hunter Renfrow is somehow their third guy. Like, that's
and
insane.
Yet they're
Yeah, Darren
struggling
Wall-
to win games.
And then Darren Waller.
yeah,
like,
I just don't get it. I think they're struggling. I think it is because of
You-
Derek Carr this year. He
no,
has been
you know what I
struggling,
think it was this year that like really fixed it was that closed door meeting that they had with head coach. Help.
but Josh Daniels.
Yeah,
Daniels or
Yeah.
whatever.
that's what did it.
Yeah,
They,
man,
like,
when you
literally
start
said-
0-3 though. It's
You know
like,
how long they talked to
I
him in
wonder
that
if this is
closed door
too
meeting?
late, man.
They talked to him for like 2.5 hours in a closed door meeting, and then went to get on the plane.
Oh wow.
Like they were done.
They're
with
probably
this
doing
crap.
some other stuff besides just talking, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey yo.
Probably some drills.
All right, all right,
Offense and
all
defense.
right,
Yeah,
all
Broncos.
right,
I
all
just
right.
sometimes you guys show sparks like Russ and Sutton and Judy. Like you guys move down the field, but then it stalls out.
I
Either
love
be-
Cortland
they are
Sutton.
s-
I'll say that. I
either
love
because
Cortland
of
Sutton.
penalties that just back you guys up, or you guys just can't finish the drives off, or fumbles.
It's
all
like
the time.
weird. It's not whose fault is it? It's like you can't really blame one part. Well, in this case, you could probably blame, Melvin Gordon. I mean, Javonte going down didn't help, but like,
I don't know.
whose fault?
The
is it?
expectations for the Broncos offense should be like through the roof with Russell
Are
Wilson coming
the
in with what they traded for him,
Broncos-
and they have underperformed
Big time.
big.
Are
time.
the Broncos this year's Browns? Like completely overhyped. Basically
were they overhyped
underperformed.
though? I don't even know.
The
if they
Browns
were.
were overhyped.
Broncos-
I know
with
the
Mayfield.
Browns were over.
The
That-
Broncos
that's what
are
I'm saying.
overhyped.
I think
right
the
now
Browns
the way things
roster-
are going, they're overhyped.
I thought the Browns roster was better than the Broncos whenever they were over.
Well, I mean, when you get a guy like Russell Wilson, I think that kind of.
I mean that does boost them a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's still
I
pretty
can't- I'm
early.
It's
excited to
early,
see
yeah,
this.
it's early. We'll
This
see.
this
It
game
is
versus the
early,
Colts next
but-
week is a big one.
Yeah.
This is gonna tell a lot.
That's a Thursday.
Or-
that's
or-
a Thursday.
Oh,
night
that's
game
the
too.
Thursday game.
I can't even say that that's the one that's going to.
Or
be it,
it'll tell nothing.
Or it'll tell
That's
nothing.
true.
Because
They
that's
could.
how
It-
some of these games
yeah.
are looking. It's either
And
it
then-
tells a lot or it tells nothing.
I don't think Thursday night's going to tell you a lot just because it's a short week. I don't think you could put a lot of stock in it. However, if they do come out after a flat game like this and,
Hey,
get the dub, I mean.
Chiefs
it's what
and
it is.
Bucks though. Hey,
Hey guys, how
Chiefs.
about that Buccaneers defense really
think-
able to
no,
handle
dude.
the
I
Chiefs,
think
right?
the Chiefs offense is just Mahomes is just.
What are your thoughts on the Chiefs after this game?
They're in my top 5 in my power rankings now. I was telling Joe, and it's in the vlog. You guys will see. I'm not big on the Buccaneers this year.
I'm off the Buccaneers train now after that. That was just a
I wouldn't. I mean, I don't
I was
think you just
concerned
hop
with
off
the,
the
I was
Buccaneers
concerned with the
train.
Bucks offense because they can't put up
That-
they can't finish off drives, but the Bucks defense, however, was top 5. So
I definitely think the Chiefs earn some respect from me with what they did. Like, definitely. But I'm not gonna hop on the Kansas City Chiefs yet.
I mean,
Like, they beat a team that I thought the
they
Saints were gonna
also-
beat the Buccaneers out in this out.
they also
So I definitely thought lowly of the Buccaneers before the season even started. I picked the Chiefs to win this game. I thought it was going to be a closer game than what it was. I mean, the score doesn't even really show it. 41-31.
no, he
Dude.
passed the ball literally the whole game. Leonard Fournette had 3 carries for -3 yards.
I mean,
and
they were
then-
down.
Yeah, they couldn't
They
run
were
it.
down 21-0.
Well, that's the thing
at
I
one
like. The
point.
Chiefs' defensive line is really good. Like, they did a very good job building it. Their
Yeah, but
secondary is the one thing that
but their
concerns
run defense isn't that great. The Chiefs' run defense
Tell you
statistically
what,
this year, it's
Buccaneers-
actually been their pass defense. So I was kind of shocked that the Bucks couldn't run at all.
Man, that's fair.
Tell you what,
That's fair.
Buccaneers really missing their left tackle and their left guard that retired, huh?
Yeah.
And this shows.
Tho-
I mean,
those are two top 10 at their position
yeah.
too.
And this shows how important. Like Mike Evans had a great game.
Mm-hmm.
Godwin did okay.
Godwin got hurt though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. I don't know how substantial that's going to be. It's probably not great.
I didn't see what it was. If it was
Yeah,
like
they
a
did not run the ball
leg
at
or
all.
a
They
No,
literally didn't run the
literally.
ball.
Yeah,
at all.
I
I know
mean,
they were
but no
down.
team would down 21-0 in that.
They found out early they weren't able to.
Yeah.
Oh, they definitely
Insane.
gave up. They really did give up on it, but
Yeah, they.
I mean, you kind of have to. But here's the other thing. Did the Buccaneers even get a chance to practice though? Probably not.
What do
Yeah,
you mean
they,
by
With
that?
the
they
hurricane
did.
coming in, they
They-
probably didn't get like a full.
I don't know
They
that.
did.
I would say they probably did. And if anything, they could have like practiced somewhere else. I would
Yeah,
say they
but
probably.
to
I'm
ju-
not going to say it's not a distraction at all, but
It probably had a little bit to do with it, I'd imagine. I mean, I know the score looks like it was close because 10 points is kind of close, but like
Chiefs.
that game
Chiefs ran
wasn't
away with
close.
it, dude. Pat
The
Mahomes.
Buccaneers had no reason to be in that game.
All I've been seeing is his touchdown pass to Clyde, which was it was good, but
What,
it's
that
not-
spin move one?
Yeah,
a
the one
little
that
overhyped.
I think so. I think it
Like,
is.
it was
It was
pretty
nice, but it's not the greatest thing I've ever seen. Like,
I know.
even from him,
Yeah.
like I've seen
all
better
right.
stuff from him.
Like
You know-
because of the spin move, and I guess it wasn't no look, but I don't know. It just wasn't.
We're gonna have to,
Yeah, is that a top 5 play?
It
Like,
is.
It
It is.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
say how it's not that great, and then 4 hours from now, when we're still stuck on it, it's gonna be great.
great.
How do you
It'll be fun.
How do you feel about Chargers still winning that division? Any worry? Any concern?
Um,
I'm sitting I feel pretty comfortable.
you should
right
probably
now.
be sitting pretty comfortable right now.
I would be if I had that.
Like, whenever we made the bet, I probably should have looked into Joey Bosa being out for like 9 weeks. But hey, I'm gonna stick with him.
Wait,
I mean,
did you
like,
make that bet after Joey Bosa got hurt?
He was hurt, but it wasn't announced. I don't think
It wasn't announced on how
So
serious
you
it was.
saw he was hurt and didn't.
I believe in the Chargers. Like I still
Man.
believe in the Chargers.
I'm not saying you don't, but it's still concerning to me.
I say
Giving up
I would believe in
24
him
to the
too, but it's
Texans.
just his injuries, man. They need these guys.
The
back.
injuries
They just
are
need
like
these
so
people
the
back.
Chargers I think with so here's my like take just to be completely honest, like I think the Chargers are definitely going to be in the playoffs still with I mean just looking
Well,
at
yeah.
how the Raiders and Broncos are playing now, like I think at worst they'd be number 2 from what I've seen so far.
Maybe the Raiders figured it out
And-
this game.
I don't know, but
Oh.
We'll see.
32 points against a top 3 defense. just
Chargers
saying.
play.
I'm such a huge believer in Justin Herbert that it's hard for me to root against him. So and like what they did in the offseason was incredible. I almost like see it as if like whenever Tom Brady whenever Tom Brady came in and like all these other like huge names came in. Even when what the Rams did whenever Stafford came in, even though the Chargers already had their quarterback, but like they brought in like all these high caliber players. And like sometimes it takes a little bit of time. Like the injuries
To
are
gel.
what's really gonna kill it, and what. Yeah, maybe they might not
So-
win the division.
so
We'll
you-
see. We'll see. I'm not like counting them out yet, though.
It's
So
not
maybe
over.
this
I'm not counting
isn't
them
the
out yet.
year for them, but
I'm not even saying that, bro.
you think?
I mean,
without-
just-
you
I mean,
think
think about it-
without Joey Bosa for
But he's
almost
gonna
2
be there
months,
though. He's gonna be
for
back.
almost 2.5 months,
But once he's back,
and it's no guarantee he even comes back.
okay.
in 10
But
weeks.
once he's back, all that's out the window. You understand that, right? Like once he's back and the playoffs roll around, he's there. You know that, right?
As long as they're in the
what
playoffs.
is his injury?
As long as they're in the playoffs.
Just out of
The-
curiosity.
The Chargers play the Browns this week. Does that have any concern?
I mean, I'm expecting the Chargers to win, but like
That's a close
we
one,
just
dude.
seen like the Patriots almost knock off the Packers with a third-string quarterback.
Chargers are road favorites.
So like I'm not gonna get like
Pretty
heavy-headed
wild.
here and just be
Pretty
like,
wild.
hey, this is a guaranteed win. I will be picking the Chargers that game. I don't think.
I was gonna say that's
I
no
feel
give
like-
me. That's no give me. That's why
Sure. I mean, yeah, it's not. Say it. What are you gonna whisper?
No,
to Jeff?
no,
Just
no.
Say
I,
something.
nah.
Oh, what the Chargers schedule this season? Is that what
No,
you're
we
looking
looked at. I just saw Lions versus Patriots next week. I saw the line for it, and I'm shocked.
at? Oh, okay.
Shocked.
We got Rams 49ers tonight. I'm hoping it's gonna be a good one.
I got the 49ers just because of their defense. And
I hope you're right,
with the
Joe.
Rams.
I hope you're right, Joe. I really do. Joe kind of talking me into it, even though the 49ers are still my NFC team. I need a little talking
Stafford,
into it.
you know, he'll turn the ball over one way or another.
I really hope
It'll
you're
be
right.
enough to keep the 49ers in it.
Like the biggest concern is how is Cooper Kupp gonna get slowed down because like if
Yeah.
there is a weak spot on the
Here's the thing,
49ers.
though.
Hey, here's the thing.
He's never going to get slowed down. You
yeah.
just got to.
You ready for me to be wrong about like the 7th game in a row
I would
this
love you
week?
to, Frank. Yeah.
He ain't.
He ain't gonna
He
get.
ain't.
I don't
mean,
think.
no.
he-
I think he's not gonna get slowed down, and the pass rush is gonna get to Jimmy G too fast. That the offense is gonna be in scramble mode.
My biggest concern is I didn't know, but Tom said that Jimmy G called out Michael Shanahan's play calling.
So he
Don't like that.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
that's
don't
just
like-
to light a fire under your
I
team's
don't
butt.
like
That's
that.
not how you do
That's
that.
not a good look.
I mean, if you've been on that
I don't
team
think
for how
Shanahan
long?
was meant to see it. It was
I don't know,
like
that's just not a good.
Yeah.
it was
That's
caught. It
not-
was
well,
caught
I
on
mean,
camera.
Okay, well
type-
then,
but
guess
he did.
what? Guess what? Easy problem solver here. You should just start Trey Lance. Oh wait.
The thing that I want to say about this game, what I'm predicting is the Rams are going to have a tough time running the football, and it's going to force Stafford to throw the ball a lot.
2 picks tonight.
So if Stafford gets the turnovers, that's how the 49ers win.
All right. How many total sacks tonight from both teams? Total combined.
You set up a parlay or something?
No. I just want to see how effective we think the pass rush is going to be tonight. For
I'll go
both teams.
4 sacks total.
I'll say 5.
These are 2 really good defensive lines.
But let's
Has the
set- let's
Rams
set
had-
over
how
4.5.
many sacks do the Rams even have this year?
Not
Has
a
they
lot,
been-
I
I feel like
don't
the Rams
think.
defense has kind of underperformed.
In
I wanna go
terms of
with 4.
sacks, maybe. Here, I'll
Yeah,
put
they still have
that.
Aaron Donald there, so
Okay.
it's like I think 4 is a pretty good number.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go higher. If anything, I would go with 3, but
I say 5 max, but that's pushing it.
I should
Yeah.
be able to find it real
All right,
quick.
we'll see you guys next week after week 5 is done. Let us know down below who you picked this week and who you have picking next week. We'll see you later. Peace.